Who called me? The question whipped through the air, carried on a sudden gust that felt far too deliberate to be just the wind. It wasn't the usual howl or whistle. It was a distinct whisper right in my ear. My name. Liam. I'd gone for a walk in the fields behind my house, seeking a bit of peace and quiet. The sky was a dramatic canvas of swirling gray clouds, a storm threatening on the horizon, perfectly matching the green and gray palette of the mid-journey prompt. The wind was picking up, tugging at my jacket and rustling the tall grass. It was the kind of wind that made you feel alive, connected to the raw power of nature. My life was generally calm, a steady rhythm of work and quiet evenings. I wasn't one for believing in the supernatural, preferring logical explanations for everything, until that afternoon. A particularly strong gust swept through the field, and amidst the whooshing sound, I distinctly heard it. A whisper, close and clear, right beside my ear. Liam. It was my name, spoken softly, almost like a sigh. I stopped dead in my tracks, looking around wildly. There was no one else in sight, just the swaying grass and the ominous sky. Had I imagined it? The wind playing tricks on my ears? It seemed impossible, yet the sound had been so clear, so personal. I started walking again, a knot of unease tightening in my stomach. The wind continued to blow, and every now and then I would catch another whisper, just at the edge of my hearing. Sometimes it was just my name. Other times it sounded like fragments of words I couldn't quite make out. It was as if the wind itself was trying to communicate with me. I tried to rationalize it. The way the wind rushed through the tall grass, the sound of my own breathing. But the whispers felt different, intentional. They seemed to follow me, regardless of which way the wind was blowing. I started to feel like I was being watched, or rather, listened to, by something unseen in the swirling air. The ghostly faces in the air from the mid-journey prompt began to form in my mind's eye. Fleeting images carried on the wind, just at the periphery of my vision. The surreal stormy sky seemed to press down on me, amplifying the feeling that something extraordinary was happening. The whispers grew more frequent, more insistent. Liam, be careful. Liam, turn back. The messages were cryptic, warnings without context. I had no idea what I was supposed to be careful of, or why I should turn back. But the urgency in the whispered voice was undeniable. I started to feel a growing sense of dread, an instinct telling me that I wasn't alone in this windy field. I looked around frantically, searching for any sign of another person, but there was still no one, just the wind and the whispering. I wondered if this was some kind of hallucination, a trick of my mind brought on by the isolation and the impending storm. But the whispers felt too real, too targeted. They knew my name. They were speaking directly to me. Then, as I reached the crest of a small hill, the wind suddenly intensified, whipping around me with incredible force. And the whispers became a chorus, a multitude of voices all speaking my name at once, swirling around me like the wind itself. And then, one voice, clearer than the others, spoke a single, chilling word. Danger. Just as the word echoed in my mind, I saw it. A deep ravine hidden just beyond the crest of the hill, concealed by the tall grass. One more step and I would have fallen in. My breath caught in my throat. The wind, it had warned me. It had saved me from a potentially fatal accident. I stood there, shaken, the wind still howling around me. But now it felt less threatening, almost protective. The ghostly faces in the air seemed to coalesce for a moment, their expressions unreadable, before dissipating back into the swirling wind. Had it been them? Who were they? Why had they warned me? I never got a clear answer. But from that day on, I never looked at the wind the same way again. What if the wind carries more than just air and sound? What if it carries whispers from other realms, messages from those we've lost, or warnings from forces we can't comprehend? Have you ever felt like the wind was trying to tell you something? Share your experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Inverted Everyday Stories for more windswept mysteries. And tell us, if the wind whispered your name, what would you do?